Hello, aloha.
Hello, hello, hello.
Good evening, everybody. It's good to see y'all again. We coming back at you one more time. You know what we say. These streets in Montgomery mean, baby, but we still here hanging in.
See,
Yes, indeed. So, welcome to KQ. My name is Kevlon,
and I'm Ken.
and we're the Galloway brothers. And we just want to bring you guys another set of information that we can about what's transpiring today, what's going on in this crazy, crazy world. Of course, we all like to live our lives absent of politics, but these days it's just not wise to do that. So what we're gonna talk about is a couple of things that's going on. First off, today Trump got hit with another letter telling him that basically you're targeted for the January 6th probe. This thing we've been waiting on for quite a while, simply because January 6th was one of the most heinous things that happened in this country's history. And, we're coming off of that. Just been a couple of short years, but everybody's still traversing as if, we don't need to be scared of anything. So I don't want to get you scared either. If you're not scared, then that's great. But I definitely want you to be aware of what the situation is so that you can, determine how to orient yourself and make sure that you know that you're not going to be fervently on the wrong end. And when I say wrong, I mean an end that will be detrimental to a large group of people. And one of the most important things that we do is preserve our democracy in this country. And we preserve the fact that we are a republic that is fired by democratic consent, and that was founded in our Constitution. We can never, never, never turn our backs on that concept, because once we do, then we become a nation that can actually be devoid of laws and actually, be untenable and unmanageable, like to a scale that you haven't seen. And once we get there, then we'll sit back and look and say, well, what did this happen right under our nose? What could we have done? Why didn't we do something? Well, now it's time to do something. And the only thing I'm suggesting is that you just be aware of the landscape in which you toil. Just orient yourself as to what is happening, what's true, what's not, where are the negative influences coming, where are the positive influences coming. The case to me is pretty clear and basic, and we can't make the whole thing in one night. That's why we have a channel. It's KQ Pilot since 1972.
Yeah.
And everybody like and subscribe, share it with your friends. But we're gonna get started. So,
All right. So the first thing I noticed today, once I heard that Donald Trump was hit with that second, and well, he hadn't been hit with the second indictment, but basically Jack Smith and the DOJ sent a letter to Donald Trump and his attorneys, letting them know that it's imminent. Yeah, you are certain to be indicted for the second time. This wasn't for the classified documents.
give me 1 minute.
Mhm.
This will be the second federal indictment,
Right.
but there's a third indictment that he's under currently in New York. It's a state indictment for the same crime that Michael Cohen was convicted and served time for.
Right.
And Trump was individual one in that case. In the sentencing document, he was basically cited in that decision as the one who ushered and ordered the crime that
Right.
Michael Cohen served time for. So he's indicted for that now.
Yeah, that was paying off Stormy Daniels.
Paying the hooker, the porn star, paying her off, for the affair.
Right.
So, sorry to interrupt you, bro.
Yeah, so needless to say, today when I saw the report, I first saw it on Midas Touch, which I posted that whole Midas Touch video over on KQ on YouTube, which of course is all linked together. You're going to see it all. But yeah, the funny thing was, I'm watching a video, I'm seeing Jack Smith coming out of Subway, and it's right after he sent their letter of intent. What's the letter called?
It's basically a letter notifying you that you're the subject of an indictment. Not just the subject, but you're the
Yeah, it was a target letter.
you're the target of an investigation.
Yeah, so they sent him his target letter, And then the last time that happened was when Donald Trump got the indictment for the documents. And so when he got the indictment for the documents, or no, it was 2 days prior to the indictment, once Jack Smith sent the target letter for that indictment. Then they see him walking out of Subway, and he's just casually walking. The reporter's asking him questions. He doesn't even say a word. He just keeps walking. And then today, again, he's walking out of Subway. This time he's walking with the bag swinging. And right after he sent the target letter, so within a couple of days, I'm expecting the second indictment. And that was for his case. That's for the case of him
inciting a riot on January 6th.
No. That wasn't.
You talking about the previous?
It wasn't indicting a riot. This is just for trying to overthrow the election with the false electors.
Well. To be fair, we don't know the charges yet for that indictment.
Oh yeah.
So it could definitely be. He could be. People were convicted of insurrection in this country.
Yes.
And so, and the one thing we know is, any other individual in the entire world, you can take them out of the equation. And the fact is that there still would have been an insurrection, except for Donald Trump's involvement. That's the only person in the whole world that you can't remove that from that situation and still end up with insurrection charges. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why he is the only person that could have brought that to bear. When you are a person that decides that you want to aggregate a group of people together and disallow them to be disarmed actively and point them to the capital of the United States of America, knowing that they're armed, and then wielding the power of the federal government in your hands and not even allowing them to stop violence. When you put all that together, then you can end up with an insurrection charge. Literally, like if Osama bin Laden gets a group of people together in one spot and sends them to another spot, and they create violence and they create some type of attempt of overthrow of basic governmental systems, then you can end up with a terrorism charge. As a matter of fact, Christopher Wray, our current FBI director, Donald Trump appointee, he called January 6th a terrorist attack. The fact of the matter is that if you define terrorism, it says this is a violent act for the purpose of influencing political opinion. That's the definition of a terrorist attack. So by definition, what happened on January 6th was terrorism. And there was only one person. He sent out a tweet telling everybody to join him on January 6th at the Ellipse. It's gonna be wild. And he did that right after finding out that all of his legal attempts weren't going to be successful, and that he was not going to have a legitimate premise to get Mike Pence to not accept the electoral votes from the state. So once he found that out, that's when he sent out that tweet. We can look at when that meeting was. We can look at all that stuff. We can pull it up for you, or you can pull it up yourself. It's all right there. Everything we tell you is right there for you to see. It's basic information. But yes, so he had the opportunity to, can you search for Christopher Wray memo? But he had the ability to stop everything, and he didn't. He sat there for hours, for over an hour and 47 minutes, I think. No, what was it? 2 or 3 hours, Ken?
Yeah, it was a couple of hours.
Watching it and allowing it to happen and didn't do anything. W-R-A-Y. Memo. And the fact of the matter is, more than that, during that event, before the event, there was a memo sent to the National Guard members. It was from the Director of Defense, Christopher Wray, basically stating, all of the things that the National Guard could not do in reference to any type of political disturbance that day. I'm trying to get Ken to pull it up now, but basically it involved them not being able to wear helmets, to carry guns or bayonets. They even put the word bayonets in the memo. But this memo was basically a list of things that the United States military forces, including state National Guards, cannot do during that day. So this was all directly executively ordered. And even when the Capitol was being overwhelmed and police officers were being hurt and killed, not killed at that moment, but he tweeted out that Mike Pence wasn't going to do the right thing, and that's when they really got violent. So that's just it's a fact that was a terrorist action, and there was one driver of that, and it was Donald Trump. So my only thing is, and I'll wrap that part up, is why in the world would you allow somebody who definitively was the main impetus of what was considered by the FBI a terrorist attack on the United States, and not hold them criminally accountable? So the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, those foot soldiers that participated in the September 6th event, they already are convicted of insurrection. Sedition, exactly, is the exact charge. Sedition is one of the worst things that you can be charged for in the United States. That means that you are using violence to physically overthrow the United States government. Very few people get hit with that. Very few people get convicted of it. It's even harder to convict than it is to accuse, but very few people even get accused of it. First of all, it's a ridiculous thing to do as a United States citizen. What the heck business do you have trying to overthrow the United States government? I mean, but yeah, they got convicted over that because of January 6th. And there was one person that called them there and asked them to do it. And as the vice president was trying to get away, you had him tweet out under his duress that he ain't gonna do the right thing. They started screaming, "Hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence." They had already built a gallows outside. They built a gallows. It's like drawn and quartered, tarred and feathered. They were going like crazy. And so, but we're sitting here acting like we live in a regular, normal United States of America. So I'm just asking people to just give it a little bit of thought. Understand that, pull up the Bill Clinton. This is the type of thing that we used to consider to be a scandal, a presidential scandal. It's close to the end. But anyway, back in the day, back in 96 or so.
You deleted them.
I didn't. Keep going. Is there nothing else?
Nah, that's Ray.
Well, so back in the day, I used to see glimpses of the Whitewater story, and they had all types of investigations talking about conspiracy theories, like they had a reporter killed, and the Bill Clinton had a land deal. They lost money on that land deal. That investigation went nowhere. They spent millions and millions and tens of millions of dollars trying their best to find something on the Clintons. And boy, the Republicans was mad every day about it. Oh my gosh, you see them, it was just mad. And then they get down to it and they say, well, we figured out he had sex with somebody. So they go and investigate him for his relationship with another grown person. She was an intern. Well, perhaps that he should have not did that. That's fine. I get it. But everybody was comfortable entertaining that type of argument. Never once did Bill Clinton get close to assembling a crowd and lying to them over and over and telling them that they did this and to me and oh goodness gracious they lied and said I lost or whatever. Of course, Bill Clinton didn't lose, but had he lost, he wouldn't have been getting up there talking about oh I won. Get this crowd together. We're gonna stop the steal. We're gonna and then go to I'm going with you to the Capitol. Bill Clinton wouldn't have done that. But in any event, they still treated that investigation as if it was as serious as the one we're looking at now, where we actually did have somebody send people to attack the United States government and beat the crap out of so many police. Is ridiculous. So I want everybody to just understand we're not playing on an equal field. The Republicans get way more leeway, way more deference, and way more opportunities to create malfeasance than the Democrats do. If any, and I can tell you this, if any Democrat decides that they want to assemble a mob and send them to the United States government capitol and take over and threaten the lives of freaking lawmakers, then they need to go to jail too.
Absolutely.
But I don't see that on the Republicans. I don't see their being upset. That they were upset at first. You had Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and all them. They were just highly upset at first. On the Florida Senate, speaking their minds and saying, "Hey, he's got to be held accountable." Mitch McConnell said, "Listen, he ain't got away with nothing yet. The criminal justice system, they can go after him whether he's president or not."
Right.
So doggone it, now it's his time. He did it. So he gets to face justice for that. He gets to face justice for taking the documents. He gets to face justice cleaning at Georgia. Fani Willis. We got some more things coming. Fani Willis.
Which one?
Yeah, the one you were just on. Yep.
This one right here.
Fani Willis in Georgia. She already put preparations in place for the Justice Department in that state to accommodate potential charges, security precautions, clear your dockets. We're going to have plenty of people that we're charging here. So the Georgia Supreme Court, all but one of the members of 9 are Republicans. And they said, no, President Trump, you do not get to decide that Fani Willis is not fit to serve as your judge or as your prosecutor, excuse me. Why? Because everything she's saying is legitimate and true. You got on the phone here and tried to shake down the Georgia Attorney General and try to make him find you some votes.
Yeah.
So now you got to pay the piper for that.
Yeah.
You got another case, and we got an hour long phone call with you sitting on the phone begging this guy and threatening this guy in Georgia to go ahead and find you them votes. So now you got to pay the piper for that. You got another case. Where we at? Yeah. And so now this is the thing. This was in front of your eyes the day he got elected. During the election, there was a debate, and they talked about and had multiple people get on the stage at the debates and explain that Trump defrauded them through his university. Okay? To me, if I'm looking for a decent human being to run our federal government, if I find out that my party's number one candidate has been credibly accused of defrauding people, saying that if you pay me money, I will teach you and you can attend my university. Turned out to be a totally fraudulent scam. He was taking people for tens of thousands of dollars. They had more robust plans to show people how to get money out of their relatives than they did to teach you anything about real estate. The training materials were turned in during the case. So between the time that he got elected and the time that he got inaugurated, he paid out a $25 million fraud settlement. This is the only president in history that just before he got inaugurated paid a fraud settlement of any kind.
Yeah.
And so he gets in and does that. Click the next one. The next one is while he was president. Well, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Just do a search, quick search. But do search $2 million settlement Trump Trump Foundation. So during the presidency, he had $2 million that got charged to him to pay as a settlement for his fraudulent nonprofit. Everybody understands that Trump is going to always have a nonprofit unless he's disallowed. Well, guess what? Now he's disallowed. His family members, his children, they're disallowed. They can no longer participate on the board of any nonprofit organization. Back in, I think 2019, 2019, Trump got hit with $2 million while being the president of the United States for another fraud instance where he was defrauding his state and patrons and people donating. He was defrauding them through his nonprofit organization. So the thing that he's supposed to be using to help something, he was committing fraud with that too. His own children had to go to class to learn how not to commit fraud after this happened. So this is while he's president. Okay, did Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or has Joe Biden committed fraud through their nonprofit organization? Now I know they like to attack the Clinton Foundation. However, the Clinton Foundation was rated higher than the Red Cross.
Yeah.
Okay, and people come through their books all the time. They've released all of their information. They've released all of their tax returns. Joe Biden released all of his tax returns. Everybody did, but not Trump. Trump's tax returns had to be turned over through legal attempts over and over and over, even though they're supposed to be turned over every year. So just another case of where he gets away with it. But the bottom line is, the preponderance is that we have never, ever, 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 ever had to see a president that operates the way this guy does and that keeps getting away with it. And you know what I tell the Republicans? Republicans, just please, if you like me, even if you don't, hold on to him for just a little while longer. Keep on holding on. Yeah. Because I promise you, exactly what you want is going to happen. You know, you're going to get your guy. It's just that your guy ain't going to get nowhere.
So, party people, only thing we're trying to let you know is that, a lot of the allegations, turns out they're totally true. And if you listen at all, I mean, I know they don't cover any of this stuff anywhere in the right wing hemisphere. And I know we have tons of followers and friends that are on our Facebook that are totally MAGA, and they know nothing about any of this stuff. Or if they heard about it, they heard about it with all the caveats and all of the extra talking points and the, what do they call it? Alternative facts. So with all of that, they won't believe it at all. But I mean, all of this information is totally out in the world. It's totally true. We just happen to listen. And we happen to look it up, and it's in our algorithms. So it's going to keep sending this stuff to us. You don't have to look it up. You don't have to have it in your algorithms if you don't want to. Just trust and believe. We're going to bring you the facts. We're going to bring you the truth. This is KQ Poly. It's been a good evening.
Yeah, just know, and like Ken said, every single thing that we say, just don't rely on us. Go back and look up the information and see it for yourself. It's fact checkable. It's basic. We're just trying to just present a particular thought pattern to your mind that just glance and see, you know, what is happening really around you. What is there a party that will put things in effect that will help you more than another? Just ask yourself that question and go and look and see what the answer is. You know, it's kind of basic to me, but I know too many facts. So I'm gonna just keep breaking them down to you, giving them to you as much as I can, and Ken is gonna be hugely important on keeping me on my toes. Because believe me, everything I say, he fact check it. So just continue to keep your eyes open and don't fall asleep.
Yeah, either that or stay woke. either way, we're gonna holler back at y'all on the next go round. We finna go on and post this bad boy so y'all can get it. KQ Poly, baby.
KQ,
like,
it is.
subscribe, love, share.
Love
Do what
y'all.
you gotta do.